Talk shoes.
Recorded live.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Travis and Vic's Drunken Horror Adventures. I'm Travis, joined by my brother from another mother, the big homie, Phil Pot. What's up, man?
What's up, bro? What's up?
Same shit, different day. You know, it feels really weird to fucking do a Hatchet movie when it's cold as shit outside. I don't like it. Well, it's not a Hatchet movie, I guess.
I mean, but you know, we usually do them in February, and it's usually colder in February, so who knows? I don't know what's going on.
That's true. I don't like this shit. Because, you know, this is one of those that feels like it's supposed to be warm because it's in the swamps of Louisiana. But, you know, we're sitting in the hell of Louisville, Kentucky with fucking, well, there was snow on the ground. Apparently there's going to be snow on the ground again. And I don't like that shit. Fuck that. Save that for December.
Yeah, it's snowing in Cincinnati today. I don't understand.
I don't get it. But you know what? This is actually kind of cool because this is one of the first ones, or one of the movies. How do I describe this? This is one of the newest movies we've ever done on a show. Does that make sense? Well, you know what I'm saying? Based on the release date. Most movies we're doing it a few years later, even a year later. This one, I mean, it just came out, and let's look at the actual release date. But, I mean, the way it came out was really weird. But they considered the release date February 6, 2018, although it went around the horror festivals, horror conventions with Adam fucking Green doing the tour. We missed it, though. It's kind of sad that we missed the various tours. It was really neat how this one was released because nobody knew it was coming.
Yeah, man, like, I remember whenever I first saw it, they put that it was out, and, you know, that they filmed the whole movie and nobody knew they were even doing it. It's pretty crazy.
A little trivia for you. 11 days this movie took to film. 11 fucking days. That is insane. I mean, even like the lowest of the low budget take longer than that, you know?
Yep, it's crazy.
Well, what's cool about this is we get Adam Green returning to the director's chair after just executive producing and writing the third one. B.J. McDonnell actually directed that one. And since we're in IMDb trivia time, let's go ahead and roll through it, Vic. Let me give you the ratings on all the Hatchet movies up to date, okay? And you can roll your eyes along with me because I think it's a little bit silly. Hatchet 1, the first one, is 5.7 out of 10. Which doesn't sound too terrible until you see that Hatchet 2 gets a 5.5 out of 10. So it drops a couple. But what's ridiculous is Hatchet 3 gets a 5.7 out of 10. So you're telling me that it's better than the second one? I think we covered that on this show. Not happening. I mean, it had its moments, don't get me wrong. But as far as the Hatchet series up to this point, Hatchet 3 was the low point, correct?
Yeah, that's crazy talk.
So basically what IMDb users are telling me is that Hatchet 3 is right on par with the first one, and that's absolute bullshit. Not a fucking chance. The original first Hatchet is a goddamn classic to rank right up there with all the greats. Hopefully 50 years from now people recognize that because I seriously put it up there with all the greats. You know, maybe top 10 for the first entry of a slasher ever.
The first Hatchet should be like, you know, along the levels of Chainsaw or Friday the 13th or whatever. I mean, it should be like at least a good 7.5 out of 10 on IMDb.
I'm going to commit some blasphemy. It's better than Friday the 13th to me. It's right there with Texas Chainsaw and fucking Halloween for me, but it's definitely better than Friday the 13th to me. And I'll take it over Nightmare on Elm Street. Sorry, Freddy fans, but it's true. It's just my opinion. I like gore in my blood and my cinema.
If it makes you feel any better, I would take it over both of those two.
Yeah, as you should. And it's better than Child's Play, but that kind of goes without saying because one of these days we'll get into that series. But Child's Play is not exactly, as far as slashers go, it's more of a comedy. Even though people try to say that it was really like dark originally, not really. I mean, Chucky was always funny to me.
Yeah, I mean, I had a toy that looked just like Chucky, and you know what I'm saying, I slept with him, so.
Yeah, Hell yeah.
You
My
know what
buddy,
I'm saying?
or little
My
buddy, or whatever.
Yeah.
Tyler had my buddy.
My buddy.
I never had one, though. But I had a friend who had a Chucky on their front door. It wasn't even Halloween.
That's awesome.
It was the Blackers.
That's a friend for life. Yeah, I knew it.
He's your friend to the end. Well, that leads us all the way up to Victor Crowley now, released February 6, 2018, like I said. Adam Green returns to the director's chair. Of course, he writes this movie, too. And this one gets a 5.7. So the IMDb ratings are very confused as far as I'm concerned, because it's like, so part 4 is still, I mean, how often does that happen in a slasher series? Because usually they all start falling as we go along.
Yes, they do. People are usually confused.
I guess.
Now,
I'm fucking confused by their ratings.
Well, I guess they're confused now. People, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm confused myself. I'm drinking a little bit of 2 Buck Chuck tonight. Vic, you know what 2 Buck Chuck is?
It's some type of a wine, I would assume. Well, not a wine, but a cider.
Yeah, no, it's wine. It's White Zinfandel. Well, I'm drinking White Zinfandel. It's from Trader Joe's. They have like $2 wine there, and it's worth it.
Nice.
I've got a nice full wine rack, and this was my 3rd or 4th night in a row drinking wine because it's beautiful. My wife drinks a glass of wine, and then I drink the entire rest of the bottle.
Lord.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, I just love it. And then by the end of the night, I pass out and sleep real good. So, yeah, I enjoy it. Well, of course, we get Keen Hodder. Yep, we get Keen Hodder returning to the role of Victor Crowley, which, you know, I don't even know if they can continue the series if it's not Keen Hodder, you know what I'm saying? Unless you get some other horror icon to play it, it just wouldn't feel right.
I don't know who else you could get to play it.
That's a good fucking question. Because everybody else would be the right body type now that I think about it.
Yeah, I really can't think of anybody else that you can
I got
get
one.
to play it.
Andrew Wynarski.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'd pay that motherfucker to do it. He's psycho too, so fuck yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. That's like the only suitable replacement today. But we also get the return of Perry Shin, who is the Asian fella who's in every single one of these movies. Like, it's not a Hatchet movie unless you have Kane Hodder and Perry Shin. And again, this is actually the first one where he comes back as the same character he played in the last one. Because remember, he played 3 different characters, and now he comes back in Victor Crowley as Andrew, because if you recall, he actually survived the events of Hatchet 3.
Oh,
well, of course you recall. You watched this fucking movie. So, I'm just saying. And beyond that, we get Felissa Rose, which we'll get into. We get Tiffany Shepis, who's in it a little bit, and we get a couple of cameos that I'll get into. But this one is not as loaded with like some of the horror actors that a lot of the other ones were. And I listened to the Adam Green commentary, and he said Felissa Rose actually didn't even ask him to be in the movie, but every time he goes into a convention, all the horror legends are always asking him to put him in his Hatchet movies.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, actually.
I mean, obviously they have respect for what Adam Green does. And that's the beautiful. See, I tell you, you know I've been drinking. But that's the beautiful thing about these movies is that they're, you know, a kind of like a love letter to horror fans, especially slasher fans, as far as I'm concerned. So, gotta love that. Well, this movie starts off a little bit differently than a lot of them, but in a way, it's also the same. Like the first Hatchet starts off in a boat, you know, in the swamp, the Honey Island swamp, which is where this takes place. And Vic, you'll have to bear with me because this is all going off the top of my head and some notes I took because I'm not cheating tonight. There's no IMDb shit, plot synopsis, or anything like that for me to go off of. So this is all from my own memory, which I watched Hatchet about 4 or 5 times today. So, you know, I have, it's pretty fresh in my memory, but, you know, I drink away those memories quickly. So, but anyway, this movie opens up. And it's the 1960s. I can't even remember the exact year, but it's the 1960s. And you have 2 people in a boat. It's a couple. And apparently these 2 are comedians, just for the record. I don't know them, but that's what they are. based on the commentary that I got from Adam Green. And maybe the guy is more recognizable with glasses, but he's not wearing glasses in the scene and apparently can't see shit, legit. So anyway, he's sitting there with his chick, and like he's going through this whole thing where he's trying to propose to her, and this is one of the funniest parts in the movie to me, right off the bat, is where he's trying to propose to her, and she starts getting all fucking, you know how women get about stuff, but like it's amplified, like way worse than any woman who ever cried during a proposal. And she's sitting there snotting all over herself, and her makeup's running. He's like, "Oh Jesus, oh." And like these two, like I think they really played it well at the start. And you get the idea automatically that these Hatchet movies, they're horror comedies. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, they're balls to the wall slashers, but there's a hell of a lot of comedy in them.
Yes, sir.
So what do you think of this scene where this guy's asking her to marry him and she's fucking snotting all over herself and crying?
It was pretty awesome.
It was so fucking weird, too. Like, I didn't know what to think of it when I was first watching it. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then you hear that familiar sound of Daddy in the background. Not the one my daughter makes at 2 a.m., but the one that Victor Crowley makes. His is a little more than that. I can't do it. It's too mongoloid for me to even do. But and he's like, it sounds like somebody's crying. You know, obviously she accepts his proposal, despite the fact she kisses him and there's like fucking snot all over his face. He's ready to throw up. It's great. But anyway, and you know they think that somebody's hurt, and when they figure out that somebody's there, it's a little too late because Victor Crowley fucks up their world, especially her. And well, okay, but before that happens, actually, we run into a cameo from a hunter who's in the force and told him to get the fuck out of there. He gets decapitated. And you know who that cameo is from, the hunter in the scene, Vic?
Who's that?
Tyler Mane.
He's a bad man, isn't he?
Well, he couldn't stand up to Victor Crowley, nor did Derek Mears, nor did who else? Robert Englund. So Victor Crowley, he has wiped out all the major slashers at this point. Yeah, he's wiped out all the major slashers at this point, Vic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He killed Freddy. He killed Jason from the remake. He killed Michael Myers, and he killed, from the remake, and he killed Leatherface from Part 3. So that's pretty good work from old Victor Crowley there. So Tyler Mane, I knew he looked familiar whenever I first saw it. I was like, that looks like fucking, is that Tyler Mane? And then, yep, of course. So Michael Myers goes down like a bitch, and then he fucks their world up because he kills the dude, and then he gets a hold of the girl, and he starts fucking chopping off pieces of her, and, you know, he just chops her to bits. And, that's kind of how the movie starts, is he fucking wipes out this couple. And that's the cool thing about this series. And you know, because in Hatchet 3, we saw Victor Crowley die. This is not like they're bringing him back. There's no explanation for how he comes back. No, they just go back in time because Victor Crowley's been around for like 50 fucking years terrorizing these swamps, right? And I like that. I like the idea that he's an urban legend, but a ghost, you know. But so, I mean, technically he could have killed countless people. There's no beginning and an end to it. So I like that, you know what I mean? Because then they can tell whatever prequel or backstory they want to tell whenever they want to tell it. We go back to the 70s and kill a couple of Black Panthers, you know what I'm saying? It'd be sweet.
That's racist. You can't say that. Not on our airways.
Oh, okay. We're probably going to get kicked off the air again, aren't we?
Yep.
So we go from this to our kind of usual intro, and this girl is kind of telling the story of Victor Crowley. And I forgot who this girl was. Like, she's related to somebody on the set, but I forget who. No, it's Felissa Rose's daughter. She's the one that does the voiceover there of the little girl. So
interesting.
Yeah, it was cool, though. You know, it's just another intro where you're getting this backstory of Victor Crowley, and I've always loved that about it. But, you know, Vic, what I've noticed about this movie is, and correct me if I'm wrong, there's really no... All right.
There's what?
I don't know. You just broke up for no good reason.